Welcome to Grant. We are live, and tonight we are talking Third Time's a Charm. These are records that finally hit after 2 failed attempts. The third one is the charm. So we've got a panel, we're ready, let's do it, we're live.
Talking bands no one talks about. Grant's Rock Warehaus.
Holy mackerel, everybody. We are busy in the warehouse tonight. As you saw, we had the Frank Zappa graphic up, but if anybody knows how I do things here, we always screw up something because it's just me pressing the buttons. And I'm just a monkey with fiber optic cable. So it's very hard for me sometimes. But anyway, the reason that was kind of screwed up is that for some reason you can't, something has happened in Twitter where you cannot stream over Twitter or X. It's weird. Some kind of message in it. As soon as I started the stream, this message came up right in front of me and I'm going, well, I can't even see what button I'm hitting. Oh my God. Someone that. What's that?
Button pressing.
What? No, but when you're doing a live stream and you're live and then all of a sudden you get a message from X that you can't stream right then, couldn't you have told me earlier that you couldn't do it on X? Why do you do it when I press the button and then I can't see to press any other buttons to get the... Sorry, I'm on a tangent now because I'm pissed off. Fucking X. What are you doing to me? Anyway, golly. But we're loose and we're keeping it real here in the warehouse. I want to thank everybody in the chat so far. We've got tons of people here. It's been a busy night. This is my second stream tonight because you know what we like to do in the warehouse? We like to keep it real in the feel. We like to keep it on the DL. We just like to talk music. And I want to welcome the panel tonight. We've got Paul Simon, Eric Hansen, and we do have Todd Evans. Todd Evans is switching devices. We will let Todd in here when... Speaking of the devil, we will let Todd here when he's back in, and Todd is here.
I am.
Sorry, we started without you, but you know how it works. We got to keep the show going. I do want to thank everybody here. Paul, Eric, and Todd Evans. How is everybody tonight? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, it's good. Tonight we are talking... Uh-oh. Wait, look, Todd's on the move.
Body cam.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What is happening with you?
I'm on the other side of the room. There we go. Let's see.
Your video's better.
How does that? All
right. Well, you just stopped.
There you are.
As long as we can hear you, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, if anybody does a live show here on YouTube, you know there's going to be problems. And some of this stuff is out of our control, and we only can do what we can do to produce this content for you. And sometimes you have hang-ups. So, but I appreciate everyone in the chat. BC Kaufman. Wait a minute. He's new. We've got a lot of new people tonight. Tony's new. Holy crap. I'm going to give you people, and Larry's here, and Larry doesn't have a wrench. What is up with that? Hold on, everybody. We've got a lot of new people tonight. You know, I love new people because we are a community here in the warehouse. On the Contrarians, we are a community. And I appreciate everybody that's new here. And we just want to talk music. Hopefully you'll stick around. There's my spiel. But tonight we're talking Third Time's a Charm. Now, when I mean Third Time's a Charm, this panel did another show back, I don't know, a month ago, where we were talking about the dreadful sophomore slump. So you've got a band that produced a really great debut album, but that second album, questionable, didn't perform quite up to the first album. So that's the sophomore slump. Tonight we're taking it a bit further. We're talking the Third Time's a Charm, which means the first 2 albums really didn't do anything. I mean, it's all relative, but man, that third album set the world on fire. So what I've got here is the same panel. This is a great topic. We want to hear from you in the chat. If there's a third album that really took off, we want to hear from you. But anyway, so what we're going to do, since we're doing third time's a charm, the panel has picked 3 albums apiece. We're just going to go around and talk about each album. Just keep it moving. We're running a little late, but that's fine. There's no show after this. But anyway, that's my spiel. A lot of talking. We should get going. Panel, nice to see you. Paul, Eric, Todd, how is everybody?
I'm good. Aloha.
Doing well.
Aloha.
Good, thank you.
All right, that's good. You ready to talk some records?
Yep.
All
Absolutely.
right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go do one apiece. We can do that. We're only doing 3 albums apiece. So I'm going to start with Paul, Eric, Todd, me. We're going to go around, have our choices, talk about it. And like I said, you've heard me talk about this. We talk about bands no one talks about, but we also talk about records that we think you should listen to and turn you on to stuff. So that being said, let's throw it over to Paul. What is your first choice?
Glad you said that as far as bands that we think people should be listening to, because this person has made it my first choice. I picked a member of the Tubes, Fee Waybill, frontman. His solo career has been a little pulled apart. 1984, Read My Lips came out. David Foster produced it, and it's been referred to as the Missing Toto album because it had Jeff and Steve Porcaro, Bobby Kimball, Steve Lukather co-produced it and played on it. Very 80s album. Nothing against it. It's a staple. It didn't do amazing, but every song is pretty solid. His second solo album away from the Tubes was 1996's Don't Be Scared of These Hands. Very Fee, but a little uneven. In 2020, after 7 years of working on this off and on with his good friend Richard Marx, so before I get crucified in the comments, they're close to besties. That being said, and Richard Marx actually worked on the 1984 album too. Read My Lips. But even written in here, Richard Marx, this record exists because of your talent, your encouragement, and your friendship. It is my proudest achievement. So the front man of the Tubes saying that this is his proudest achievement, and my signed copy I'm happy to show. That being said, this album, one of my favorite albums of the last 10 years. This is a solid album. There's absolutely no filler. There isn't a wasted note on it. It's got balls. It doesn't have the schlock that the Tubes got in the shock value. It's got solid rock and roll, and that is it's been pretty lean lately, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So and he's from Arizona. He goes back to his roots. You can almost hear the twang in his voice on a couple songs. Not country per se, but there's an influence there. So while it wasn't a roaring success, that's why I'm bringing it up. Is I can't recommend it enough. This is a 10 out of 10 if you like rock and with that pop influence. So,
okay, for one, who is talking Fee Waybill? Come on. We are in the Warehaus tonight. Check out this album. If you know this album, I want to hear about it in the comments. And we've been talking about this. Todd's been having computer issues. I appreciate everyone being patient tonight. But if we're live, baby, things happen. All right, that Fee Waybill. Holy crap, Paul. I'm going to give you
this album. You will not be sorry.
If I could give you a wrench, I would.
Try the first single, Faker. You look it up on any streaming service. If you like Faker, you will love this album.
Here we go. BP, happy to have found this channel. Anything Grant is on is always a safe bet for great content. My God, I might have to frame that. Can I frame that? BP, please subscribe. I don't want to keep saying subscribe, but man, you just made my day. And I'm making you a moderator because you just...
There you go.
I had to.
There you go. All right, cool. All right, well, let's throw it over to God, I'm so worked up I forgot your name. Who are you again? Eric. Damn, fuck. BP, I'm just all worked up. Michael Easter. God, I love it. Thanks everybody for coming on. Let's talk. Let's enjoy this community. Let's see. Todd Evans, you back? Oh no. Todd, can you hear us?
Hey, you guys.
Houston,
We had some
come in,
weather
Houston.
in Georgia today, so
Yeah.
I think
All right.
something's wrong. That's out of my
You're
control.
coming
But
through
I
okay
can barely
now.
hear you guys. So
Hmm.
okay,
Okay.
all right, good. Well,
We'll
let's
give it a
cross our
shot.
fingers.
Todd's great. Michael Easter from the Todd fan club is here. Everyone loves Todd. Todd's great. If you followed my channel, Todd's been on here from the very beginning.
Thank you, Michael.
So there you go. All right, Michael. Thank you. All right, cool. Let's throw it over to God dang, Eric. Who are you? You know what, ladies and gentlemen, the brain is a terrible thing. Eric, sorry, I know who you are.
Yes, it is.
What is your first choice?
My first choice, I'm going with, I got the CD Eagles, On the Border.
Okay.
Released in March of 1974. So at the time, they've already had 2 albums. They're self-titled. And Desperado was their second one. Of course, the first one had Take It Easy on there. And Witchy Woman. Desperado had the title song. That one wasn't as strong, in my opinion, as the debut. But this one here, at the time, Glenn Frey, Don Henley, the late Randy Meisner on bass, and Bernie Ledden is the band. Don Felder played guitar on the song Already Gone and the slide guitar on Good Day in Hell. And he joined the band as the fifth Eagle shortly after this album came out. So this was produced by Bill Szymczyk, who worked with, of course, James Gang, B.B. King, Jay Giles Band. And the band wanted to incorporate a little bit more of a rock-focused approach to go along with, their country soft rock sound. Glyn Johns actually produced 2 songs on this one, which was Best of My Love and You Never Cry Like a Lover. I think the band had a little bit of a disagreement because they were in London at the time recording it. And so they flew back to California and worked with Bill Szymczyk to finish out the record. This one had 3 singles: Already Gone, James Dean, and The Best of My Love, which was a #1 hit in their first #1 hit in 1975. This album helped propel them and really was like a transition record, which, let's be honest, a lot of these third albums sometimes are. That melded a little bit of what they did in their first 2 records and what was to come for the rest of their time as a group. The 2 tracks to me that stick out are Old 55, which was written by Tom Waits. It's kind of funny. I read that Tom Waits wasn't a fan of their version. I think it's one of the strongest tracks on here. It's got that desperado slow build, and the chorus is absolutely fantastic. The other one I love is It True, which is the next track on the album, sung by Randy Meisner. And it's got all the Eagles vocal harmonies on here, which is the MO of the band. This has all the elements that I like out of the Eagles, combining that rock sound with the country soft rock, great vocal harmonies. My favorite record by them. Again, just a great transition. And to me, my favorite record, because this improved upon what they were doing on their first 2. And when you have a #1 hit, that also helps the situation too. So there you go, On the Border.
All right, cool. Awesome, Eric. That's great. I do know your name, but I get on the you know how I do this.
I understand, Gary. It's okay.
It's okay. Good. All right. So let's look some of the comments, which is why we're here. Closer to Home, Grand Funk. Psychedelic Furs, Forever Now. Thanks, Sean Barnes. Awesome. BM Bolt, Blackfoot, Strikes. D Rocker, Helix, No Rest for the Wicked. We did a show on Helix on this channel. You know that. Let's see what else we've got. Okay. We have to mention this, Michael. Someone has to say it. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. Now,
I almost
give you-
said it,
It's
and
a
didn't
great
want to
pick.
get kicked out.
I am not a Bon Jovi fan, but they should never have changed that original album cover. I'll leave it at that. Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger.
Yep.
Yes. Budgie from D-Rocker, Never Turn Your Back on a Friend. Yet I am not buying viewers BM Bolt. You know me better than that. Here we go, Jason. Sweet Desolation Boulevard. That's a good one. God dang, that's a great song. Chris Flood, Fee Waybill had 3 solo albums. Yep, he did. Oh, here we go. Sean Barnes, Faith No More, The Real Thing.
Another one I almost picked.
All right, let's keep her going. Well, I guess we're going to me because Todd's not here. So here we go. We'll go to me. It's all good. My first pick. Okay. Don't Judge Me. It's much like the Bon Jovi thing. But we're all friends here in the warehouse. So don't judge me. But this does fit the bill. I'm going to go with Dookie from Green Day. Think about it. When this came out in 94, I remember distinctly the video coming out. You know, are they punk rock? You know, everybody was promoting this band as punk rock. No one knew them prior to this record. This was a huge, huge record. Catchy, almost power pop-ish to some degree. I can't really listen to it now, but I thought in 1994 when you had Nirvana and all that stuff that happened, you know, it was a little later than when grunge took off, but I thought it was okay. But it was also their first record for Reprise, and it was their major label debut. They were on Lookout before. This record was recorded at Fantasy Studios, Berkeley. Rob Cavallo was the producer. But think about it. We have a lot more a polished sound. If anybody's heard of those first 2 Green Day albums, I feel weird talking about Green Day, but I'm going to talk about it. Those quite aren't as polished as this record. This is pretty slick, pretty polished, but you have to admit it was catchy. This record sold over 20 million albums worldwide. And it got to number 2 on the Billboard chart. So it's got Longview, talks about boredom and masturbation. So what else would you want in a song other than boredom? And, it probably identified with a lot of these young males. I don't know, but it did great. Great bass line. It did well on the charts. Basket Case, talking anxiety and panic attacks. If you listen to any of these songs on Green Day, none of these guys are having a good time. All these guys should be in therapy. When I Come Around, another one, freaking catchy as shit. A lot of radio play. It's one of the biggest hits. What are you going to say? Welcome to Paradise. The whole record on here was like a hit. Now, I don't want to listen to it now, but I cannot. You have to give it props. It was a big record. But evidently this was re-recorded. If I think back, this was on Kerplunk, was the album before, and they re-recorded it. Of course, it's much more polished, but it's a lot better. I could keep going. You get the idea. We're going to keep going. Dookie, Green Day. Let's look at the comments real quick. Okay. Oh my God. Talk about this. Well, we got Super Strike with Doors, Waiting for the Sun. The Stooges, Raw Power. Born to Run. You might see that again. According to Prod Rock Dude, Born to Run is a good one. Well, we're going to visit that. Hold on. Calm down, everyone.
Someone mentioned one of mine already.
Good choice, Grant. Thank you, Jason, giving me some props. I appreciate it. Let's see, what else? Is anybody else here new? Brian, Brian, are you new? Or did I talk to Brian? No, Brian's new. Welcome to the warehouse. We love new people here. Third Eye Blind. That's a good choice. Brian, we love new people here. Hope you stick around. Please like, subscribe, hang out. I'm adding you as a moderator because, like I said, I love new people. So thanks for coming by. What else? Triumph, Just a Game. Motley Crue. God, you guys are all over it. Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. All right, let's keep it moving. Thanks, everybody. We'll get back to you. If I didn't get back to you, I will try to do my best. Let's throw it over to Paul. What's your next pick?
All right, my next pick. I was worried about bringing up my next pick until I saw, I think it was D-Rocker mentioned it in the start of the chat. I feel a little better. So
right.
Good. Because in 1980, this guy's debut album came out. Didn't really hit, but he definitely defined his sound. 1981, and is named after himself. 1981, he comes out with an album he wanted to call Bryan Adams Hasn't Heard of You Either. Record company said nope, so he had to call it You Want It, You Got It. Good album. A little bit more of the same. Nothing too mind-blowing. 1983, Cuts Like a Knife comes out.
Yes.
I love this album. I will admit I love Reckless more, but as far as Third Time's a Charm, this definitely describes it for me. Grant hasn't gone to bed yet, but coming up on his bedtime.
Hey, you get on these live streams and I get all worked up, but I could use a nap. I will leave it at that. Anyway, keep going, Paul.
One of my favorite things about this album is it introduced me to Bob Clearmountain as an engineer and the Clearmountain sound, and I was hooked. Anything that guy's name is on, I will get my hands on. Amazing engineer, producer, really does the sound. So whoever gave Bon Jovi the shout out, there you go. Clearmountain mixes are always better. But yeah, so I mean, as far as memorable tracks, it had 3 singles. It went, I've got the chart ratings here somewhere. Came out January in 83, 3 singles, Straight from the Heart this time, and of course, Cuts Like a Knife. Also worth noting that, what the hell song was it? Don't Leave Me Lonely was co-written by Eric Carr and was going to be included on Creatures of the Night, but was pulled. So Brian got it. And Bonnie Tyler even released her version of, what song was it? I think it was Straight from the Heart, a year before or close to it. So
that's a good pick.
Again,
I love that record.
If it's the bill.
Yeah.
This is the summer of 83. We're going to go back in time like we're in a time machine. 2 cassettes that were in my car. At the time I had a cassette because we had a turntable. This is a bit of a tangent, but the stylus, I don't know if it broke, it wore out, but as a Pickering stylus, really good stylus. But my cheap ass dad, who was very tight with money, wouldn't buy a new stylus. So that forced me to buy cassettes, which is fine. Well, kind of. But 2 cassettes that I would play in the car. Bryan Adams Cuts Like a Knife and Police Synchronicity. Constant rotation.
And he opened on it was the Synchronicity tour that, it would have had to have been. He opened for Journey on Frontiers. He opened for the Police on Synchronicity. He was everywhere.
Yep. It's great. I love it. I still love it. Who's the other Bryan Adams? You mean Ryan Adams?
Ryan Adams?
Beats up women? Maybe. I don't know. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime minus the EP.
I already did Rage for Order on avoiding the sophomore slump, or I would have picked Mindcrime. It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Look, we don't have Scott Evans here who loves Haken. He's bringing up Haken. Who's brought up Haken? Ken White. The Mountain for all you prog heads like me. And Rand. I don't know what Rand's stance is on Haken. Prince, Dirty Mind, that's a good one.
Yep.
Damn the Torpedoes, we might see that again. Motorhead Bomber. Holy crap, you guys are all over it. All right, cool. Yeah. You have anything else to add, Paul?
Nope.
Good. All right. Let's do it. Let's keep it moving. Eric, what's your next one?
Well, I'm going with an artist who had first 2 records did really well for him, but I'm going with Phil Collins and the album No Jacket Required. So this one was released in February of 1985, a monster 3rd album for him. Nothing away from his first album, Face Value, which had, In the Air Tonight and I Missed Again, and then Hello, I Must Be Going, that had You Can't Hurry Love and I Don't Care Anymore. Great albums. This one here, 4 singles released. Sussudio, number 1 here in the U.S., number 12 in the U.K. One More Night, number 1 in the U.S., number 4 in the U.K. Don't Lose My Number went to number 4. Was not released as a single in the UK. And then Take Me Home, number 7. And then number 9, actually in the UK, and Sting and Peter Gabriel had background vocals on that song. Really, this whole album, other really good tracks, Who Said I Would, Inside Out is really good. I Don't Want to Know. Really, this is just a really strong pop record that shows a more, I would say, up-tempo approach than what his first 2 records had. Which again, like as I mentioned, really solid. I just recall that this album had such a long shelf life. It was constantly, these songs were constantly on the radio, constantly at the roller rink, constantly at the arcade. Yes, I'm showing my age when I'm saying that, but it was that's what it was. Phil was so popular around this time. Actually, I think in '84, his duet with Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind and Fire, Easy Lover, was released off of Philip Bailey's album Chinese Wall. You couldn't escape Phil Collins in the early mid '80s, and yeah, No Jacket Required definitely qualifies here as and you know, he went back to Genesis for a little while and released some more soul albums, but this one here really elevated him from what he really already was in the music world. So
yeah,
there you go.
Pick. Great pick. All right, cool. Again, I just want to extend a thanks to everybody showing up tonight and giving us support. I appreciate that. Ken White, Bebop Deluxe, Sunburst Finish, although Futurama is just as great. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think, Bebop Deluxe is a good example, but you know, all those records are good. Also, I want to give a Nate. We got a dono, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a hand clap for that. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you, Nate.
Big support of the channel. He likes what we do here. We love donations. We do this because we like to talk music, and we hope we can turn you on to some of these things. So here we go. Terry Smith, The Queen is Dead. Great record. Great record. The Motels. Okay, this is true third time's a charm, because the Motels, I freaking love the Motels. And that All for One, that sent them over the top.
Yeah.
Yes. Do what Michael says and hit the thumbs up, please. Yvonne, Lenny Kravitz, You're Gonna Go My Way. Big record for.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that counts. Definitely counts. Alice Cooper, Love It to Death. Good one. Oh my God, Mr. Frickin' Frackin'. That's a perfect one. It is, because they put out those 2 records for Zappa and then they switched over. But though I think that Love It to Death was on Bizarre. I'm pretty sure. But still, that third album changed Alice Cooper's career. If I'm looking at Cheap Trick, I don't think Heaven Tonight really did do anything. Those first 3 Cheap Trick albums really didn't sell anything. It wasn't until Budokan where they took off. And then maybe people would backpedal and pick those, but that's a great, we're going to have a Cheap Trick show on the Contrarians soon, so stay tuned. But I like the pick. I love Cheap Trick, but it doesn't really fit that. It's not the third time's a charm, even though I do think that's the best Cheap Trick album.
Yeah. So
All right,
in
so I was
fairness,
on-
it's not like Fee Waybill's burning up the charts here. So if we can get people listening to these, quality when it came to that one. So,
And we're talking about this one because this is one of those bands. Who's talking about Fee Waybill, for God's sakes? Well, we are here in the Warehouse. Check this album out. If you've heard it, let us know what you think. All right, I'm up. All right, okay. I think this was mentioned prior, but that's all right. We're going to go with it. Once I find it. Okay, here we go. This album, this really set this artist on fire. I remember back in the day that this artist was also on Newsweek and Time Magazine. This came out in 1975. I'm not the biggest fan of this artist, but you cannot deny the impact that this had. And there are some great songs on here. This is the third album, the breakthrough album, and I'm going to go with Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run.
Yep.
I don't know who mentioned it, but someone mentioned it already, but you cannot deny how much influence, No. Producer John Landau, here's a quote. You've probably heard this. He famously said, I saw rock and roll future, and his name is Bruce Springsteen. I mean, for 1975, this is a pretty groundbreaking. They were comparing Bruce, his lyrics to Dylan. But, there's great songs in here. Born to Run. Okay, I like Born to Run. It's an anthem. You've got the great sax solo by Clarence Clemons. It's one of his most iconic songs. Always plays it live. You cannot deny. But my favorite track on this record is Thunder Road. Oh my God. The narrative, the way Bruce writes the lyrics, the imagery with, talking about the woman on, in this track. It's vivid storytelling. You cannot deny. That is my favorite track because you can picture what Bruce is singing about. I think it's great. I've never been a Bruce fan, but Thunder Road, I'm a sucker for. This album also has Jungle Land, which is a big song. 10th Avenue Freeze Out, Backstreets. Holy crap. I mean, this peaked at number 3 on the Billboard chart. Great record. Multi-platinum. I don't know how many platinum records this has achieved, but it's achieved a lot. And you cannot deny that this was a record that changed a lot of people's perceptions, had a big influence on music. A lot of musicians refer to this record, and it is quite a work. People also talk about Born to Run. This is way beyond Born to Run. Wait a minute, Paul, you like Born to Run?
I love Born to Run.
I don't get Born to Run, but I get this. I don't get Born to Run at all. All I know is I need to get a new pair of jeans when I see that record. But anyway, we're going to leave it at that. Born to Run's my second pick. We're going to throw it over to Paul. Well, wait a minute. Let's see what's happening in the comments. Real quick. Here we go. Ashley, Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy.
I almost picked it.
Eric almost picked it.
Yep.
Prog Rock dudes give me a thumbs up for Born to Run. Oh, here we go. Maureen, Hendrix, Electric Ladyland.
Excellent.
But
Yep.
was that a third time is a charm? Because those other two records got a lot of acclaim. Remember, everybody, we're looking for those records where the two first albums were pretty much a failure, but that third album sent them over the edge.
We've been pretty loose with that, to be fair.
That's loose, but that's okay. We're loose. No, but really,
My picks, we're pretty loose with that.
Well, that's all right, but everybody had their assignment.
Yes.
But all right, I'm not going to be a hard ass. We're just talking music. Here we go. Terry said the Sex Pistols. Killing Joke. Brain Salad Surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts. Brain Salad Surgery was the third record? I thought that was the fourth one. Iron Maiden, Number the Beast. Now you have to agree.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That did it.
I avoided it because I picked Killers on the sophomore.
Exactly. Same thing with Mindcrime with me. Eric picked Iron Maiden for avoiding avoiding the sophomore slump.
Yep.
So
Yes album. Yep. Yeah.
Yep, the Yes album. Where is it? Hold on, let me get it up here. If I can find
Trilogy.
it.
We talking Ingve?
I think they're referring back to Emerson, Lake and Palmer on that.
Okay.
So everybody, I think we've lost Todd Evans for the night, but his pick was the Yes album.
Yep.
I might as well bring it up. Chuck, great minds think alike. So yeah, that was Todd's pick. He picked the Yes album, was one of his picks. So yeah, obviously this set them on the map. Mm-hmm. So that's a great pick. All right. I'm on a tangent. Paul, you're up. What's your third pick?
All right. My last pick, I went with Five Boys from Sheffield. First album comes out, makes a splash. Martin loved the first album, by the way. Part of the new wave of British heavy metal. States heard it, didn't jump all over it, but they even reached out to us. Hello, America. Second album comes out 1981, High and Dry. So it sells. This is why the whole definition of third time's a charm's like, it sells. But High and Dry came back on the charts when they released Pyromania.
Yeah, but that totally overblew anything else in the catalog at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's that
Mutt joins them for High and Dry. Pete Willis bails. They get Phil Collin in. Pyromania, they get their sound. They get their signature wall of sound vocals. Matthew Sweet Girlfriend, yes, Byron, for sure. But
I should have mentioned that.
Yeah. You cannot argue Pyromania. It's stage fright to this day. I'm 51. I've seen over probably 300 concerts in my life. Worked at a venue.
Just a baby.
Stage fright. Yes, thank you. Stage fright is still the single best opener I've ever been present for on the Hysteria tour. Absolutely brought the roof down. So, granted, I was 16.
Trilogy. There you go, Randy. Trilogy, not Brain Salad. Trilogy. But I don't know if that was a third time a charm. I don't have to look at the stats. Anyway, sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
No worries. But the only thing is, in case people wanted to bring up the fact that High and Dry was also big, it came back on the charts. So,
right.
Thanks to Pyromania. So, I will stand by this.
Hey, look, we got Davy Cretin in here. Super late
Hey,
tonight.
Davey!
Bruce is a great choice since I never liked his first two albums. Davey, nice to see you. Ken White. Come on, Grant, say it. Wishbone Ash Argus. That's a great record. Yeah, AC/DC has a weird catalog. How do you really look at it? Because you've got the original Australian releases. You've got the international releases. Where do you gauge it? Their catalog's a mess. What else we got? Oh, Terry, Spinal Tap, Brain Hammer. We all know that's where Spinal Tap really took off. That's a good one.
Love it.
Here we go. Then Play On. Is that the third one?
That was that Peter Green era?
Yeah, but I thought that was the fourth one. Whatever. I don't know. We're talking music. Who cares?
Barely Manilow mentioned Master of Puppets in the comments. We chose Ride the Lightning for avoiding the sophomore slump from the previous series. So that's one thing that Eric and I had talked about, was trying to avoid talking about bands we already talked about. Since we brought them up for avoiding the sophomore slump with Ride the Lightning, we absolutely love Master of Puppets. No argument.
All right. Barry Manilow is new here in the Warehouse. I want to welcome Barry Manilow to the show.
Barely.
We love new people. Barely Manilow.
Barely.
What a great name. I want to thank you for coming in and interacting. We love new people. Please like, subscribe, please. We're building a community here. Keep it coming. I love it. I'm going to give you a wrench because if you come back, I will know you've been here. So please stick around. I love it. You made my day. All right, cool. Welcome, barely Manilow. But barely, Ramones Rocket to Russia, did that sell any more than the previous two? I don't think it did anything. It's a great record, but was that third time's a charm? I don't know.
Maybe it's on quality again. This didn't sell a lot.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it.
Exactly.
Third Time is a Charm is a great song by Stars. Wait a minute, what's this? Bale, what? I respectfully
he respectfully disagrees with Pyromania, and Bale, they shit canned him.
Yeah,
Men
but okay, Cretin.
So sorry. Don't
But
get my facts wrong.
But what record sold more and put them on the map? It was Pyromania. That's what we're looking at. Whether you like Pyromania or, High and Dry better, that really doesn't have anything to do with it. It's if these records took that band to that next level. It's okay. I'm not going to ban you. Maybe I'll take your wrench away. I'm a little disappointed in you. All right. So, God, we are loose tonight. Okay. Who are you again?
I'm just hanging out here, Grant.
All right. I'm going to send it to the guy at the bottom.
Russ.
Whoever that is. Russ?
So I'm
just giving you shit.
I got to cheat. We were talking about like bands that we already talked about. Well, I'm about to cheat on that one because I already mentioned this band in the sophomore, but I couldn't not talk about this record.
Okay.
Came out in October of 1986, produced by
Uh-huh.
Stephen Galfus and the band itself.
Uh-huh.
Stephen Galfus produced Cher, Saxon, Savatage, Cool in the Gang. Stryper, To Hell with the Devil. So
I chose the different cover, but that's okay. We got both covers. That's cool.
So, in my opinion, one of the greatest albums of that whole glam metal era. The songs Free, Calling on You, honestly, they were just all over MTV at the time. More on that in a minute. Honestly, actually went up to number 23 on the charts. This was their biggest commercial breakthrough, and a lot of fans look at this as their finest release. If anybody, I said this in the sophomore slumps, if you have not seen or heard, I should say, their last 5 albums, definitely need to check those out. Interesting enough, original bass player, where's he at here? Timothy Gaines did not play on this record. Michael Sweet, lead singer, felt that his bass playing just wouldn't fit, so they hired session player Brad Cobb to play the bass, but Timothy came back for the tour. Now, speaking of MTV, back then they had a program called Dial MTV where the fans called in and voted for their favorite videos. And Free and Honestly were the most requested videos, I think, for almost a 2.5-week run. And think about this. This was at a time when Kiss, Scorpions, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Great White were all on regular rotation. Pretty cool to me. Again, a little biased here. This is one of my favorite bands. I could not talk about them. So still one of my favorite records of all time. And this definitely exceeded anything they did on their first record, Yellow and Black Attack, and their second record, which is really good, Soldiers Under Command. So, yep, To Hell with the Devil is my third choice.
Awesome. Thank you, Barry Manilow. All right, cool.
Barely.
I know it's words are hard to say sometimes. All right, so we got Aerosmith Tours in the Attic. I think I think that counts. That was a big record.
Yeah.
Babies Head First. But they had hits on the second album. I don't know.
It's like on all of them they had hits sprinkled. Yeah.
But did the Babies ever really, really hit?
No.
Because that's why they broke up. They could never really get their footing, at least here in the States. Yeah, they had some hits.
It's weird because they had albums in their songs. Yeah.
I love the Babies.
Yeah.
All right. Ken White, White Cross Hammer and Nails, another great one. All right.
Yep. Good choice there.
I understand what you're talking about. It's all good. It's all good. We're hanging out. Michael, Allman Brothers Live at Fillmore East. I would say live albums count because that was the third record, and it was the third record, wasn't it?
I think. You might be. I think Michael's right there.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, please let me know.
Yeah.
And burn a cross in my yard or burn my house down if I'm wrong. It's okay. So anyway, there you go. That's awesome. Oh, here we go. Yep, Chuck. BM said, Byron said, yep, that's a perfect one. Free, Fire and Water. Yep, that would have to be more successful than those other records. Yep. I was much more into Bad Company than Free. A lot of that Free stuff, yeah, I get, there's some songs, but nothing was as catchy as what was on any of those Bad Company's records. All right, we got Prog Rock Dude coming in live at the Fillmore. There we go. He's got your back. Live at the Fillmore was the third album. Yeah, we're counting both. It doesn't matter. An album is an album. So that was the third one. We get some props for Bryan Adams. Ooh, here we go. The things go by. I click on one I want, and then another one pops up, and then yeah. It's a struggle here on StreamYard. It's a struggle. Right between, come on. Right between Idlewild South. Okay, yeah, you're right. Here we go. You guys are Bowie fans. What about The Man Who Sold the World?
Yep.
Was that I guess I was a success, wasn't it? That's kind of when things started to take off for him.
Taking off for him. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Where in the hell is AC/DC?
No, where's
Probably
DC?
on Ernesto. They're on tour. Oh, DC. I don't know. Where is DC? He's probably hurting grandchildren. Being Bold, I agree on an artistic level, but I don't know if it outsold any of the previous two albums. Are we talking Todd Rundgren, or what are we talking
Face
about?
of Music, I think. Talking about Talking Heads.
Yeah, I don't think until we hit what's the album with Burning Down the House? Brain Problem. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord.
I don't think Ass would count because Ass didn't do shit on the charts. I don't think Badfinger had
15-year-old
any.
me is chuckling madly at that.
I don't think any Badfinger album was a third time's a charm. They never sold anything. That's part of their problem. All right, I'm going to get to my choice here. Have you ever done a show
Speaking in
on
Tongues
bands?
is the fifth album. You're right. Thanks, Prog
All
Rock,
right,
dude.
Speaking in Tongues. There you go. That's her fifth album.
Yep.
So it really took that album before things took off, I think, but I could be wrong. Badfinger Straight Up. That's more along the lines, even though I don't think it ever really did anything. All right, here, Chris Flood. Have you ever done a show on bands who had a better album than their hit album?
Pretty much every live chat Grant's ever run. How could you like that when this is better?
Chris, that's a good topic. But I don't think we've ever put it out there so much as a topic. No. That's good. I like that. All right. Did anyone say London Calling by The Clash? No. Martin's not on this panel. You're getting our panel confused with Martin's the other show. All right, what's my third one? All right, here we go. So, my third one. Oh, God, I love this record. And no one, I don't think anybody said it, which is funny. This record pretty much introduced this band to the United States. When this band originally came out, they thought that they were very new wave. The band never saw themselves as new wave. This came out in October of 79. I remember going to Peaches Records when I was a kid, okay? And I love Peaches. If you know me, I wish I had a time machine and I could go back to Peaches and go through the record bins because that was the greatest store in my life. All right, me being a young Beatles kid, love the Beatles, love Rickenbacker guitars, Hofner Beatle basses. I'm all Beatle. Anything Beatle. I looked up. You remember, if anybody's old enough and you remember Peaches Records, they used to have those big paintings that they would put up on the walls. Huge paintings of album covers. One album I saw up there was this record, and it made a big impression. And we're going to go with Tom Petty and Heartbreakers. Damn the Torpedoes, my favorite Tom Petty album. But I saw that image up there with Tom holding that Rickenbacker 12-string, and me and my young, pubescent brain was totally captivated. So I bought the damn record because of the damn guitar Tom Petty was holding, because I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And if anybody knows this, the story behind that guitar. All right, I'm going to go on a tangent, but I'm just going to say it real quick. Mike Campbell owns that guitar. He bought it out of you remember, anybody around here remember like those papers that like they would be, you could go, it wasn't in the newspaper, but those periodicals you could go to like to a drugstore and they would have stuff where you could buy stuff. You know, people would put ads in.
Yeah,
well,
like
some guy was like a penny saver.
Uh-huh.
Some guy had this in, and Mike Campbell called the guy up, said, I want to look at it. Because all it said in the ad was a Rickenbacker guitar, $250 or $200. Okay. So he went to see it. I don't know. He had to drive like an hour away from LA or whatever. Went and saw it. And he saw it and he was disappointed because it wasn't the Rickenbacker like the George Harrison one with the hollow body with the big horns. If you know anything about guitars, I'm probably just talking to no one cares. But anyway, I'm going to say it anyway. So he said, that's really not the one I want. But he offered him something less, I think. Maybe he got it for $200, but he bought it. Later on, he went to the Rickenbacker factory or whatever. And for some reason, they said, can we check out that guitar? I don't know. I could be wrong on this point. But this guitar was made either right before or right after George Harrison's 12-string on the assembly line. This was basically, they didn't make any 620 12-strings really at that time. And they probably only made one at that time. This was basically a prototype. And how this other guy got it, I have no idea. They didn't bring out the 620 12-string until years later. But anyway, this is very historic because it's like one serial number off from George Harrison's 12-string. So there you go.
Sweet. I
can't stop talking guitars, so just humor me. All right. Anyway, so my pick. Now I went on a tangent. Good God, Grant. Well, let me talk about couple of Todd's picks real quick. His other pick was Supertramp, Crime of the Century. He brought that up. Someone else in the chat brought it up. But that's a great pick, great record.
Yep.
I'm talking about Tom Petty. I really didn't talk about it much. We let it go. Everybody knows this record. Another one of Todd's picks was... what did he pick? Oh, the band Blondie.
Blondie, yeah.
Parallel Lines. This record, they put out 2 records before this that didn't do anything. And if anybody knows Blondie, you know what a great album this is. So that's Todd's other pick. We covered him. We had Todd's back on this show. And you learned a little bit about Rickenbacker 12 strings. So I've done my job. Let's look at the comments real quick and we'll wrap this dog up because we're almost at an hour, even though we got a little bit late. But that's okay. We're good. Here we go. Kevin, Wings Band on the Run. Yep. I can't argue with that.
Yep.
There we go. Chuck with Todd Rundgren. We got Free. I'm going back in time. There we go. Brian Adams again. BM Bolt, Fear Music. Wait a minute. I went back too far.
Went back too far.
Sorry. Boy, I'm really
Terry,
good at
Grant,
this.
look over your shoulder.
I'm really XTC. God, I didn't even use it. God, I am.
There's so many though.
There's so many, and look at XTC's behind me, and I didn't.
Nice one, Terry.
You know what? I'm just a monkey with fiber optic cable. Parallel Lines, perfect choice. What else?
Yeah.
Zap. Sad thing. Where else? Right. Okay. So Kevin knows it was right before George's 12 string. So they made 3 different guitars in that batch, and basically, I mean, they never made another 620 12 string until later. So it's weird. Okay. Here's the story. Wait a minute. Where'd you go? See, things are popping up, and when I click on it, it's gone. Yeah, in the URL, it was in the Recycler where he saw the ad. And they didn't have a 12-string in the band. He went and saw it. That's back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, when you could get guitars for nothing. No one wanted vintage guitars. 1978, 79. No one could care less about it. That's a whole other show. Yeah, Trading Times were in Ohio. Yep. Oh, here we got a good one. Yvonne, my man. Kate Bush, Never Forever. Great record. I think that qualifies. Slayer, Rain in Blood. That's a good Christian album.
I always wanted to see the Slayer Stryper tour.
Stryper, yeah.
Stryper's throwing Bible.
That's a good
Slayer's
Christian
throwing
album. Technically, All Things Must Pass would fit. Yes, prog rock, dude, because All Things Must... I'm having problems. All Things Must Pass is the 3rd record, so yeah. I guess that's about it. I think the people in the chat are done. It was buy and sell here in Toronto. Yeah, It's fun. Thanks, Kevin. I like you quite a bit because you love the show. BM Bolt, Electric Death Cult. The Cult, Electric, they had some albums under other names. And yep, Electric Death Cult. U2 War. I was going to bring that one up.
I thought you were going to bring that one up, actually. Or REM.
No, I didn't pick it. I found... Well, I guess you could do REM. How about Elton John, Tumbleweed Connection? Thoughts? Yay? Nay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I saw
All right,
some,
I guess...
I was going to say, I saw something earlier in the chat mention Trace Hombres, who I almost picked by ZZ Top. Somebody also mentioned, I thought I saw Black Sabbath, Masters of Reality would fit.
I think we've saw that. Hey, Steve Polari. Every picture tells a story.
Yep.
That's a good one. Is there anybody here that's new that I haven't given a wrench to? Oh, wait a minute. Music Talk with John. John, have you been on this channel? Have you been on the chat before? I'm going to give you a wrench because I think I've seen you before, but maybe I'm wrong. I am so sorry. I should have given you a wrench. I appreciate everybody coming back and everybody keeping this interactive because it's what we're about. All right. I think we're all good. All right. We're going to wrap this dog up. I feel bad for Todd Evans because we love Todd on this channel. He brings so much, but we did cover his picks. But yeah, I want to thank Todd for trying to attempt. Sometimes we have computer problems. What are we going to do? You know, it happens. Paul Simon. Thanks for coming. Is there anything coming up on your Rush fans or anything you need to promote real quick?
On Rush fans, we're currently covering Vapor Trails. However, we also have a couple of shows in between each of the songs we're covering time-wise. So we just did a tour of the deep tracks where it's come up with a set list where it's nothing but non-staple, non-radio friendly songs. So a little bit of everything for all the genres, all the eras of Rush are covered. No particular one focus. So see you over on Rush fans. Robert, thanks for coming here. Appreciate it. He's one of ours.
Yeah, we love everybody new. Love it. God dang. Makes my day. All right, Eric, anything... Do we have anything worked up? I don't know.
Yeah, anybody who out there is a Huey Lewis and the News fan,
oh
Grant
yeah,
and I are going to be covering their discography next month. So
we've got like 3 shows coming up. You know, and I don't have my book with me, which I keep everything in. So we're doing the Huey Lewis. We're doing something else. What else are we doing? Remind me.
The outfield.
The outfield.
And what is the other one, Grant? Boy, no,
Doobie Brothers. Doobie Brothers.
Doobie Brothers.
I'm not even on that one, and I know your schedule.
Well, you know me. I'm doing the Contrarians. I'm doing this. I'm on Sea of Tranquility. I can barely keep up, so I need all my panelists to keep me in line. Thanks, Prog Rock Dude. This was a fun show. I love all these guys. They bring a lot to the table. All I can say, hit the like. Please hit the like. And please return. Please like, subscribe. We do this because we like to talk music. Yes. And I can't tell you what's exactly up next in the Warehaus, but there's always something. So stay tuned. Oh, yeah. This weekend, Rachel from Rachel's Ghost will be on the channel. In Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to play tracks from the 60s in the listening party. So Rachel's got her 10 or even more, because a lot of these, think about it, a lot of these 60s songs are pretty short. So she submitted 15 tracks. I'll have my 15. Please tune in Sunday for the listening party. We like to keep it loose. We like the interaction. So please stop in. But that's coming up. There's probably something else. I can't keep track. Oh, thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mr. McFrickin'.
Let us know in the comments after you've listened to Fee Waybill Rides again if you liked it. I'm curious.
Yeah, 60s. Yeah. I've already got Rachel's picks. Get ready. This is going to be good. Holy crap. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be live. We're going to keep it going. It's going to be awesome. All right, everybody. We'll see you. Gentlemen, have a good weekend if I don't see you. Keep it real in the feel and brush those teeth. And everybody else do the same. All right, everybody. We'll see you. Thanks again.
Aloha.